Well, let's try this again. That mountain in front of me, I believe, without looking at the map by memory, that's Battle Mountain. All right, you got another one coming up in there. It's because of the length, but they're expanding. Yeah, I'm 3.5 miles from Wells. Not far. You're able to zoom in. You can actually see I-80 from here. It runs from left to right, and I'll be going to the right. But first, I'm going to be stopping at the truck stop, and I'm going to get some coffee and take a 10-100. Got to stop off at the choke and puke. Well, between Twin Falls, where I was, and getting to I-80 here, I believe it's like 117 miles. Memory serves me. Not a whole lot out this way. There's a town called Jackpot, literally, because they got a couple casinos there that's owned by the res. Oh, there we are. And they did get a lot of snow out here. It's the same snow that they got in Wyoming. That's why I dropped that load I initially had at the yard in Salt Lake, because there was no heading back east because the highway was closed. So I dropped that at the yard, grabbed an empty, went up to Twin Falls, and picked up a load of Chobani yogurt, and I'm going to take it to California. It works for me. Hopefully, when I go back east, I'll be doing it from Southern California, where it's nice and warm. We'll just have to worry about the earthquakes or the landslides from all the rain that they got. Hey, Sean Tuber. Hey, Sean Tuber. I'm going to Turlock, right off of 99 there at the U.S. Cold. I'll be there. I can't deliver until day after tomorrow, but that's where this load is going. I'm hoping to get up over Donner Pass before the end of my drive shift, but probably not, because there's not very many truck stops on the other side of Donner Pass around the Sacramento area. So I'll probably shut down in Reno and could go over Donner in the morning. Yeah, right over there. Those little red building barns over there. Well, that's the motel. I believe that's a hotel. But little red building barns over there. That's Donna's and Bella's Hacienda. Legalized cat house. Oh, they opened a casino here called the Alamo. That's new. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been in Nevada. Like I said in my first live stream, but I lost signal. I'm on US 93. The last time I was in Nevada, I was in Adrian Gibson's live and then lost signal. And so I just recorded a video going through downtown Vegas. And that was 2 weeks before Murad passed away. And I regret not meeting him, but I couldn't because I was in a hurry to get to LA. Man, that's a lot of weed. He's on them super double flatbed skateboards there. Man, that's a lot of weed. It's probably hay, but we call it weed. Some of them hadn't dried out yet. I'm going to stop here in the Petro. This used to be the Four Way Cafe, and it was owned by Pilot. I believe Petra bought it like 6 or 7 years ago. Oh, this is the Alamo Casino, also. Okay, that's new. Lady out there walking the dog, going to take a dump on the street. And that's a pretty security guard right there. She ain't got a gun though. She's going in for some donut. Yeah, that's the kind of bait you use to date a female cop. You put a donut at the end of a fishing line and you dangle it right by their window, by the driver door. Can't say she might pull out that nightstick and stick it up your ass, but hey, there's some guys that like that sort of thing. But I like, you know, I've never dated a cop, but my mom was one. But hey, I can brag to the boys. Hey, what better job? A woman can always come home every day with a pair of handcuffs. um, you guys, can you entertain chat for a moment? I'm just going in to use the restroom, take a leak, and get a coffee, and I'll be right back. All right. So don't go no way. I'll be right back because when I start driving, I'll be heading west on 80, and there you might want to do the soundtrack because I'll be headed to Winnemucca, and that's where the song starts from Johnny Cash. I've been everywhere, man. I'll be right back, guys.
Ah, there we go. Nice lady. Coffee's good there. Uh, all right, how much of this road you going to take, Mercer? Uh, I gotta somehow get out of here without leaving the pavement. You get stuck in the freaking mud. There's the pavement. Thank you for staying, guys. That was pretty cool. Uh, yeah, one of the ladies that worked there remembered it when it was called the Four Way Cafe. It was kind of funny. Now it's called the Iron Skillet, where you see right there on the left, on top of that building, it says Iron Skillet Restaurant and Dunkin' Donuts. That's where it used to say Four Way Cafe. mm. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention. You see this restaurant to my left? You'll see it when I make a left-hand turn here. It'd be on my right then. Bella owns that. That owns Bella's Hacienda. She owns that. It's a restaurant and an espresso place. Get fancy coffee and all that right there. She owns that too. I wonder if the washed up hookers usually, girls that work in the hoe house, end up there later on when they're washed up. Well, time to head westbound on 80. Uh, yeah, if I had a CB radio, the girls would probably be chattering on it through here. Hey, fellas, come on over to Bella's Hacienda for a good time and relax, shower, or free showers. You can even take a nap while we rummage through your wallet and take all your money. That wouldn't happen. I'm just making that up. Although it could. Uh, got me a little bit of a snack there. And yeah, it's typically barren on 80 here. I think the next town I come up to is Wells, or not Wells, Winnemucca. So I jumped up in the cab and I settled down inside. I traveled every place in this whole land. Ding, 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 ding. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've been everywhere. Now, if you can karaoke that tune, you the man. Because you got to go like boom, 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 boom with the names of the towns, and I don't have it memorized. Well, that train derails. I'm right above it, so I ain't got to worry about it. Yep. Got to keep the wheels spinning and the beavers grinning. Oh, yeah. Just with some of the girls were awake, they would probably join in on this live stream, but they're probably still snoozing or snoring.
I know there was a couple of them that did a silent live stream while they were sleeping in the bed, and I know some of them started cutting some logs there. I'm not going to mention who, but you pretty much will figure those out pretty quickly. If you like and to subscribe to them and you see their live stream, they do that silent live stream while they're sleeping. Yep. I think I'm back. Hey guys, if I lose signal for too long of a time, I'll end the live stream. But basically, I'm just going to keep it rolling here and let y'all take a good look at Interstate 80 and northern Nevada. And I'll probably make it to Reno and shut down at the TA there. That's a nice TA. But once you get west of Reno, that's when you start climbing up Donner Pass. But this is a big state, and it takes forever to get to one side to the other on 80. I believe that's like just under 500 miles on 80. Like if I came from the Salt Flats from Utah and came across that way, I believe it's just under 500 miles. Yeah, I'm like 348 miles to the border of California, right? We start climbing up Donner Pass. Welcome to the Donner Party. Somebody's going to have to put something into the pot. I would have been like, screw you, man. Let's chop your arm off and throw it in that pot. I'm like, who led us this way? That broke away from the main group. Yeah, it's true. It is a shortcut to California with the direction they went, but they went the worst time in of the year you would ever want to go, and it was during one of the worst winters that was recorded in that area. Yeah, they were trapped up there for 3 months, and they ran out of food. And usually up on the high range, when you got tons of snow, the deer and everything else that's alive will go down at the bottom of the mountains so it can feed on the grass or whatever. What they should have done is kept moving. After the storm let up, they should have kept moving. Yeah, but there's still descendants from that Donner Party. I would never want to claim that. Even if I was, I would try to erase that from our family history and family tree. Hey, Dad, wasn't our great 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 granddaddy part of the Donner Party? Yeah. One of the women died, and he just ate a whole lot of ass. Oh man. I'd be like, hey, as long as it tastes good, why not? But that's not the only time in history something like that happened. They did make a movie of it. Back in the 70s, I believe it was in the 70s. A plane crashed in the high range mountains. I believe it was in South America somewhere. And same thing. But two of them left to go get help. and finally made it back. And they were stuck up there for a few weeks, I think it was. And they just started eating the dead. I'm like, whoa. But I'll tell you what, if you're hungry enough, you'll do it. But me, it'd be dependent on what I'm eating and who. I have to say, if it ever came to that, probably the thighs, the thigh muscles on your top leg. Yeah, there you go. That might be a good steak. Reminds me of that story one of my favorite comedians told. He goes, there was a chief and a witch doctor eating a missionary in Africa. And the witch doctor said, Chief, I'm having a ball. And he said, well, you're eating too damn fast. Put that down and grab that circle. I'll never forget that. Chief, I'm having a ball. I mean, we can make jokes about it now, but if you're in that situation, it's like, okay, you're going to have to make peace with certain things. Are you going to starve to death? Because if people get hungry enough, they go crazy. I'm just trying to give you all a little bit of entertainment while you get to see here and watch a grand view here. Sorry, everything's just white from all the snow. I'm going to move the camera to my left, and you get a good view of that mountain right there. But my camera on this phone just makes everything look so damn far away. Like the truck in front of me. He's not even a quarter of a mile ahead of me. Maybe 1,500 feet, maybe, if that. But it makes it look like he's a mile away. Well, somebody let the cows out. Man, have them laying on their asses. They're going to be the ground beef. If you ever see a cow missing a leg or two, that'll be lean beef. And if you, by some miracle, drive by and see a field of cows jacking off, that's beef stroganoff. Oh, I got to stop and make everybody leave, whoever's here in the chat or whoever's watching. Well, maybe some of them won't get the joke. There's a whole lot of nothing out here. A lot of tumbleweed, a lot of snow. This is actually the desert of Nevada. Now, if I had to live out here, managed to get some cheap ass land and a lot of it, I'd probably make a house like the Lars homestead in the movie Star Wars. Because you're just using the ground. And being underground like that per se kind of keeps it a little bit cooler and shields you from the heat a bit. Because in the story, that Lars homestead is on Tatooine, but it's actually in Tunisia. And people actually live there. But I would design my house like that. But not up here. If I was, in the southern part where it predominantly stays warm all year round, like Vegas area, way outside of Vegas by the side of a mountain. Yeah, I usually typically do not like Las Vegas because I really am not into gambling. Uh, I've had family members that had gambling issues, and I really don't care for Vegas. But there is one bright area of Vegas that has me of interest is who lives there. I found out that somebody lives there, not Murad. He passed away, lived in Henderson. But this person lives in the great, either in Vegas or in the greater Vegas area that I really would like to invite to dinner. That would be very interesting. Highly doubt that that person would remember me, but you never know. Depends on what kind of impression I made that day. Yeah, it looks nice and warm and everything here. It's beautiful, but it's 37 degrees. It's cold. Just 5 degrees above freezing. I have 540 miles where I got to go. And with the time I got left, I'll probably knock out at least 300 of that or save the rest for tomorrow. Get in close, shut down early, and then deliver the load the following morning. And then I know I'll probably get a load out of there somewhere. Take me straight down 99 to I-40. Go across Arizona, New Mexico, and into Texas, probably back east somewhere. Or I can get grapes out of Delano and take those to the Southern Cal, which I would like. Take it down to San Diego, right there by the border of Tijuana. And from there, I'd like to get the scallop load. That scallop load pays really, really good. On a solo drive, probably take about 4 days to get to where I need to go, but in that 4 days, I can make a ton of money. Pays more than them Viagra loads, though. Viagra to Toronto, or Levitra and Cialis to Montreal. That's one thing about them Canadians, man. They know how to have a good time. I have no problem with Canadians, man. I like going up to Canada. Good people up there. Didn't have anybody up there begging me for money everywhere I went. Didn't see homeless all scattered everywhere in tents and everything. Doesn't exist up there. Yeah. And my fellow Americans, you say America's number one. Yeah, Canada's better. The Canadians invented one of my most favorite sports. Back in the old days, about 100 almost 160 years ago, the old Lord drunk ass Stanley was witnessing the first championship of professional hockey. I think it was the Toronto Maroons. I think it was the Maroons, and I can't remember the other team. And the Maroons won the game, and they went to the Lord Stanley. He's up there getting drunk off his ass. Lord Stanley, sir, what are we going to give the winning team? He had a big goblet in his hand. He drank wine out of it, poured it out, and he threw it on the table. Give him that. And that goblet he had is what adorns the top of the Stanley Cup. That Stanley Cup is the oldest championship trophy in human history. It's the oldest and it's the hardest to get. And I've seen all three of them because there's three, but never touched any one of them. I will never touch the Stanley Cup. It's an ode of respect. If you didn't earn it, you don't touch it. It's bad luck, too. Now, the original Stanley Cup that Lord Stanley threw on the table, I can't remember how many years they used that, but they retired it. It's in the Hockey Museum in downtown Toronto. Maybe Darren could do us a live video from there if he hasn't done one already and show us the original Stanley Cup. And there's two other cups. There's the one that does tours, all over the world for people to look at it. And then there's the one that the players use that they pass off to each other that they give out on the ice. And they've dropped it 100 times and dented it, made jello molds with it. They've done all kinds, drink beer out of it, wine, whiskey. They're doing all kinds of things. Every team member who won the Stanley Cup gets a week, I believe. If it's not a week, it's like 2 or 3 days, and then they give it to another player from the team. And it gets passed around to all the players, the coaching staff, and then they give it back. Or maybe just a day. I can't remember how they do that. But every player gets it for at least a day. I know that. Yeah, the only thing is what you're looking at in front of me. You'll probably be seeing it for 15 or 20 minutes before I actually get to that point. That's why it really doesn't look like I'm moving. If you didn't see the vehicles on the other side, or the few that passed me in the white lines, you would think that I was froze. See, here is where a lot of guys like to top out at 120. They really put the trucks out to their limits here when it comes to speed, because it's basically flat and straight, but not the entire distance, just here and there. Oh, I'll tell you one other thing here, that it's very, very dark out here because there is no light except when there's a full moon. Now that looks cool because, like they say tonight, if I was stuck here and we got a full moon, you would see the mountains, and it looks really eerie and kind of cool too. It'll cast shadows. You're standing there, that the moon is so bright, it'll cast a shadow. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, Reno 911. I've heard so much about that show, but never seen it. I think they had like 5 or 6 seasons of that show. Comedy. I wish I was going down to Vegas with this load, because I would have stayed on 93, went all the way down there, went down the extraterrestrial highway, right by Area 51, right into Vegas. Probably would have stayed at the Petro on the north side of the town there, right off the Interstate 15, I believe it is. Yeah, there's not much to talk about. So, how's everybody else's life? What's ever going on, everybody else? Everybody knows what's going on in my life all the time. Not a whole hell of a lot. But the good thing is the scenery changes. And the weather can change at a dime. Yeah, like during the summertime, some thunderstorm comes rolling off the top of the Rocky Mountains and start dropping tornadoes on your ass. That's not a whole lot of fun. It's like trying to dodge hand grenades. Well, I gave a few people a heads up about this live stream that it was going to be going on. And I believe I am in Mountain Time still, I believe. No, actually, I'm in Pacific. Excuse me. It's almost 5 o'clock in the morning in the Philippines. So they'll be waking up here any minute. And they'll be like, oh, Sean Trekking with BS is doing a live stream. Let's go see what his stupid ass is doing. Not a whole lot of people in the chat. But I'm sorry, guys. I really can't read the chat because I got to keep the eyes on the road. Oh, I'm definitely under 80,000 pounds, Aaron. Thanks for joining us. I just got 40,000 pounds of Chobani yogurt in the box. And when you're going to California, you have no choice. Your tandems have to be in the sixth hole, regardless of what you got. And if you're overweight on an axle, you're going to have to take some off or reshuffle the load around. But I'm good. Yeah, I threw myself up on the scale, and I'm 31,000 and change on my drive tires. I'm 30,008 and change on my tandem. 11,292 on my steers. So I'm good. I think my total weight was like 74,000 and change. But they do. They need to open some truck stops at the bottom of Donner Pass, east of Sacramento. And it'd be popular with a lot of guys that I know because not too far from there, once you get out of Donner Pass into California there, you know, it starts to flatten out east of Sacramento. If you look to your left, there's Folsom Prison that Johnny Cash made famous. I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Oh no, that reminds me of the song by Tim Wilson called Acid Country. Mama used to listen to Pink Floyd and Floyd Kramer. Mama's kitchen smelled of incense and cornbread. I don't know, I did it wrong. No, Mama's kitchen smelled like incense and cathead biscuits. That's how it went. We'd listen to Porter and Dolly and then throw on the Grateful Dead. Born and raised on Acid Country. Yeah, Daddy couldn't take it. He had to go. You can't play Alice Cooper on a dobro. Mama mopped the floor and laid another brick in the wall. It was hilarious. Oh. Well, it's starting to look up, getting a heat wave here. 41 degrees. Yeah. Typically, when you go over Donner Pass, you're freezing your tits off at the top. And when you make it to the bottom there, right before you get into Sacramento, it's 70. Weird, isn't it? But you don't want to get caught up on top of Donner Pass because there's nothing but grizzly bears up there. And if they got cubs, they will eat your ass up. There was one time I was stuck at the rest area up there. I was one of the lucky few that was able to get a parking spot in there because they had to shut the pass down because it was impassable. There was too much snow. And we were trapped up there for only a day. But that's when I spotted my first grizz, and it had two cubs with it. Everybody's over there taking pictures. I'm like, you guys better hope that bear does not see you up here because it will chase you to defend its cubs. And I'm not running. But I'm still just waiting for that day to happen when we find out if a Sasquatch really exists or not. The reason why I don't believe they exist is because not one had been hit by a truck yet. Because everything known to man on this planet has been hit by a truck. You're like, oh, boom, oh, there we go, totaled the truck. What did I hit? Oh, there's a piece of it right there. You go, man, that's a Sasquatch. That's how it's going to go down. Get some Star Wars fan. Oh man, you just killed Chewbacca. But however, they've been known and spotted down in the reservations of the Navajo. Lots of reports within a short time frame. There was like 3 reports on one night, and the reservational rangers had to go out there and investigate. You'll find that I believe on the show The Unexplained, it's hosted by William Shatner. I could be wrong, or it's on Unsolved Mysteries. I can't remember. But when it comes to Native peoples, I believe them. They have no reason to lie. And one of them, the Rangers, will tell you that. Said, I have no reason to lie, but you haven't seen what I've seen. But I'm still waiting for one to get hit by a truck. Yeah, you very rarely see DOT out here. They may travel one side of the highway to the other and back once a day. Other than that, you're not going to see them out here unless there's a major accident where they have to respond. Other than that, there's hundreds and miles of a whole lot of nothing. Someone may patrol from Wells to Winnemucca and back, and that's their entire shift. They're mostly just tending what's going on in the towns there, if anything's going on. Not a whole lot goes on. And I could tell there's probably not a whole lot going on in Bellas Haciendas or Donnas. I didn't see any vehicles over there, except for one car. And they priced themselves so out of business, and the way the economy is, you know, and the price that they ask, not a whole lot of men are going to do that. Because when I paid for Antonio, I I believe it was $580 for 2 hours to be with that Korean girl. He really enjoyed himself. But that's more than what most people make in a week. That's a whole freaking paycheck for most people. But I made so much. Helped me make so much money that week. I was like, I don't care. I'm doing it for him. He did a good job for me. Ugh. And I become a legend because of it. Now, not every student was treated to that because it just all depends on am I going through, and if I am going through near that area, did this person warrant that reward? And there's been a few that did. No, by far not the only one. I think the last time I ever patroned a place like that for a student was Hong Kong down in Tijuana for Trey Ford. Lives in Louisiana. Graduated from Grambling University. But I tell you what, man, he come out with a big smile on his face too. Now he was a little bit greedy. He took two of those senoritas back with him. They were beautiful too. Oh my God, they were drop dead gorgeous. And I tell you what, man, you want real Mexican food? You go down there, you get some real tortillas. Oh yeah, the food is really good down there. You won't eat at Chipotle or Taco Bell anymore. Nah, Taco Bell and Chipotle is not Mexican. See, you get down there, South San Diego by the border there. It's about like 2 miles. You're up on the side of this big hill. It's almost a mountain, but there's a pilot. And you park your truck there, and you look outside your truck. You can see the lights of Tijuana as far as the eye can see. Call an Uber, charge you like $20 to take you down to the gate to get across the border. Now there are a few that can go in, but that's going to cost you extra. So I figured, $40 to $50 from that pilot there. It's only about 3 miles to where the gate is to get over the border. We had them drop us off. We went through customs, and then you walk 100 yards, and then you're in the Mexican side of their customs. You just walk on through, show your passport, and kaboom, you're in there. You walk like maybe 300 yards, and there's vehicles there. There's taxi cabs, and there's a big stretch limo there, and they will take you to Hong Kong, one of the most premier clubs there in Tijuana. But like I said, again, you better have money. However, the girls are much cheaper there. And Trey, he got two of those senoritas. I think I spent like 420 on them for a couple hours. Made it back to the truck. He passed out, and he was out for quite some time. But he did it with a smile. Elko 11, Carlin 339 miles, and Reno was 299 miles. Yeah, like I said, I'll probably shut down in Reno. Well, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I know at least I'll make it past Winnemucca. Whoa. I've been everywhere, man. Breathe the mountain air, man. I got a check station in 1 mile if it's open. I already know my weights are good. They'll probably bypass. Yep, they bypassed me. Got the green light. Got the green light. Let me see if I can show it to you. See right there? Bypass with the green light. Dig it. Bypass with a green light. And it's open too. It's flashing. You don't get a bypass. You better pass in there or it's your ass. Like that driver just did. He had to go in. I don't. I'm going to pass right here by him waving. I hope the weight's good, driver. Oh, yeah. But everybody gets pulled in going into California. They may check your manifest. They may wave you through. But it's they stop every truck. Ooh, they're getting a DOT inspection. But they do that because certain things that you bring, they got to make sure. Like if you had a load of blueberries from Florida, there's this bug that attaches itself to blueberries or some sort, and they got to make sure that they're not in the blueberries. They'll grab one and they'll put it in a thing of water and smash them, and then they'll float to the top because there's a certain bug that will destroy the ecosystem out there. They got to be very careful what they let in. It's weird. I'm like, man, why don't you stop me when I got the good shit? When I got uncut sirloin, when I got those beef knuckles? Hey, man, rake out the grill, man. They can do that. Rake out the grill, open my ass up, get some of that beef out there, slice it up, throw it on the grill, and everybody be eating. Is it any good? Oh, it passes. You're good. We'll real seal you up. You can head on down the highway. They never do that. I said that to one of the officers there in Florida because they do the same thing in Florida. It was in the Panhandle. His eyes got real big, and he was like, "That sounds like a plan." And then they take that as a loss. But they give you an extra sheet, the DOT officer does, that puts the new seal number on it, that they resealed it, their signature and the state seal on it. Man, they could really screw somebody. Man, they just lost, like $15 in profit if they had to do something like that. I'll never forget when I was coming out of Florida with flowers. They opened up my trailer. This lady, one of the guards, she was Filipino, by the way, and I was like, I'm going to the Philippines next month. And she opened it up. She went in there and grabbed herself some flowers, came right out, sealed me up. She inspected the flowers, and I know they're good. She kept them, though. And again, man, it's like, why don't you open me up when I got the good shit? I'll tell you what, man, the beef loads, a lot of money. You consider, just one slice, and like a 16-ounce steak. It can be sold in a grocery store for anywhere between $15 to $18, and that's just one little slice. You got a whole trailer full of it. There's Elk County. Like I said, he probably goes through his county from one end to the other and back once a day, maybe. Unless he's responding to a call, which I highly doubt because the lights aren't on. And plus, he would have blew my door off if it was an emergency. Ooh. Yeah, ain't not a whole lot going on. Well, if you want to live the quiet life, right here's it. You run out your house bare ass naked, or buck naked, however you want to call it. Nobody would know. Ah, shit, there's a train. It's not moving, though. So, man, let me get away from the tracks far away. Because I'm expecting another derailment at any time now. We've been getting at least one derailment every week, and we're overdue for one. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this town. This is Elko. And Google Map it, Elko, Nevada, right off of I 80. Google Maps. You look at the satellite view. I don't like the cartoon view because you can't tell what the hell's around there. You just see strips and a whole lot of yellow and white. Give me the satellite view. Just about every town has their own casino. There's one up there to the right, Hotel Casino. It used to be the gambling was just strictly for Las Vegas, but they realized there was too much money to be made for the state, so they're like, okay, you all can open up one here. We'll just tax you on it, especially the reservations. I remember the mobsters that were in charge of Vegas at the time were always uh, paying off politicians to keep gambling illegal elsewhere except for Vegas. So everybody comes out there to gamble. And then you got a town like Atlantic City, New Jersey. But I'm sure Vegas makes a lot of money. People go there and waste their money. Not me. I work too hard for mine. I don't need to gamble. But the mob, if it still does exist in Vegas, they're totally legit and they're very very low key. Because I think the Dunes was the last casino owned by the mob, and they tore that down a long time ago. Yeah, all the casinos that once existed, the original Las Vegas, during the World War II era, in the past century, all that doesn't exist anymore. Circus Circus, and the Horseshoe, and all that, all that's gone. Now they may have rebuilt one and renamed it that same name, but it's not the same one, and it's not owned by the same people. Evil. I saw the chat move, but I can't read it, fellas. But thanks for joining me. You can enjoy the view. Very rarely come through here, and I'm doing this for certain folk, YT hosts, because a lot of the YT hosts that I've known for the past 2 years, I've taken them through just about every state in the lower 48, and this is one of the only ones left that I've never drove through while they've seen it. I don't remember who was in Adrian Gibson's live stream, but Adrian's the only one that I know that I took through Nevada once. And once they see it, there's only two states I haven't took them through, and that's North and South Dakota. That's because it's rare we go up to the Dakotas. And there's some more snow-capped mountains up front. And I believe on the other side of that mountain is Winnemucca, but that's a long ways away. Yeah, you might have to zoom in on my screen. I can see it clearly as day from here, but like I said, my camera makes everything look so damn far away. Chop off some time here. Yeah, I didn't know where the Pacific time zone line is. I thought I wasn't going to get in Pacific time until I got into Reno. But I'm in Pacific time. Yeah, typically, if I was up, like when I was in Idaho and Oregon, when you cross into Oregon heading westbound, that's when you enter Pacific time. But when I get this load in there by tomorrow, I won't be too far from Sean Tuber. He was in here earlier. If I continued on 80 into San Francisco, get on the 580, I think that's where Sean Tuber said he lived in San Jose. It was in a good area. Yeah, the San Jose area, it's really nice. Santa Clara. Yeah, that's where I was. Well, hell, that was about like eight years ago. I went driving through there, and they got me for like a half a second on the TV show Sons of Anarchy. That all happened by accident. Me and that Conway driver were talking on the radio, and I'm like, I know they're filming something. They might be filming something over there. I don't know what. And I watched the show regularly. And when I saw that episode, and I saw that Prime Conway, I'm like, that's me. I'm glad I recorded it, but they're freeze framed it. There's me right there. I'll be damned. Oh, 286 miles to Reno. Like I said, about it. Yeah, south of here they did some nuclear testing. Yeah, probably a lot of people saw a lot of UFOs or whatever, but never could get a clear image. It's out of focus, blurry. Like, well, what the hell is that? They could have been defective lens. We don't know. But as everybody's got a cell phone with a camera on it now. It's kind of difficult for something like that to get by without somebody getting it on camera. But you don't want it to be my camera because my camera sucks. Even though I got a Galaxy Note 20 phone, it still makes everything look so damn far away. Oh, he must have made it through Wyoming with all that mess on his truck. I wonder if I'm probably curious. Maybe they got Wyoming open by now, but it was bad. It was so bad I couldn't pass it. I was like, screw this. Let me drop this at the yard. Y'all put it on team on that to head back east. I'm not waiting around for Wyoming to open up. And give me an empty. I'll go somewhere else. And they did. All right, cool. And heading back east. I'm probably coming out of Southern California, so I'm good. Won't have to go worry about going through Wyoming again. Because Wyoming is always a disaster. Basically, I don't want to see Wyoming until late May, early June. But even then, you can still see snow. Shit, over there on Swami Pass, it was the 4th of July, and they got a blizzard up there. I'm like, man, this is bullshit. Yeah, maybe 70, 80, 90 degrees where you're at, but you climb up on top of that mountain, and it's below freezing up there. Yeah, I just wish I had a better camera, like a GoPro or something. Y'all get a better view of what I'm looking at. But I like to share, what I see day in and day out, especially here. Being in the Rockies and the area that I'm in. Yeah. Sorry about the silence. I don't want to keep yapping too long and say something foolish or stupid. I'm good at that. Let's see here. It is 5:21 in the Philippines in the morning. I know there's a few people have been waking up right about now. Somebody's got to go to work. It's Friday morning, Thursday afternoon where I'm at. Yeah, sad thing I didn't get to show you all the salt flats, but I wasn't in Utah. I was there yesterday, but I went north into Idaho, what I call the Idaho area, and went over to Twin Falls and I came straight down from Twin Falls into Nevada. Ah, shit. That train is going west. But the good thing is it passes through by Donner. We're way above where the train is. So if it derails, we don't have to worry about cars falling on our ass on the interstate. Oh, I forgot who it was. I think it was JB. Yeah, JB that does live streams. She did one recently with Celeste. They met up, stayed at a hotel together. She would see something like this when I was out west here, and she says, "Oh, that looks like Cyprus." And she had been there years ago, I guess. Yeah, she'd been around. I heard Cyprus is a nice place. She worked in Hong Kong. She moved back to the Philippines, I think, about a year and a half ago. And I talked to her. She's not going back to Hong Kong. She got a nice farm there in the Philippines. Got a lot of chickens. Grows a lot of fruits and veggies. I remember when she had them, and she had all these chicks, literally hundreds of them, and they were running around the ground in this barn den area. They look like yellow cotton balls moving around really quick along the floor. I'm like, man, I'd be afraid to go in there because I'm afraid I might step on one or two. Them things can really get around pretty fast. What are you doing coming up beside me? You fucking idiot. I'll knock your little SUV on the other side of the highway and keep moving. Oh, you're going to brake check me? What the fuck's wrong with you? So that's how stupid people get killed out here on the interstate. You don't do stupid things like that. And plus, being in a vehicle like that, that vehicle weighs maybe 2,000 pounds. Maybe. Versus almost 80,000 pounds. I don't know. Who do you think is going to win that battle? I've seen vehicles just like that get hit by trucks like mine. And those vehicles that they're in come apart in pieces and chunks. They don't stay together. Road construction. Oh yeah, that part of the road's chewed all to hell and back. Yeah, there we go. We get a good view here. Amazed if I can still maintain pass through this mountain right. When you hear flashing, you're not that tunnel was behind me. I might be going through that tunnel. They reconstructed it about 4 or 5 years ago. Oh, here we go. Now I think I'm back. Hopefully, y'all stick around long enough for me to get back in here. Yeah, I just went through that tunnel, went up under the mountain, and no signal. That sucked. I wish y'all could have saw that. Damn, it was the whole purpose of me doing the live stream so y'all could see this. You know, y'all may not never come out this way or ever come here to Nevada, but at least you can see it and I can show it to you. You know? The hell. Oh, that's a National Guard station. I thought that was a prison right there. uh, I'm glad that the StreamYard kept it going for me. I thought it was going to end it. That's cool. I can keep going. If I lose signal again, I'll probably end it and pick it back up when I get to the truck stop because I know I'll definitely have signal there. Or I'll be on somebody else's live stream. And I know there's a few Panays that are pretty punctual. And one of those is usually Blessed Life. I think she's got a live stream supposed to be starting right about now. She usually starts at 5:30 in the morning. But I believe no, not this live stream, but tomorrow's live stream. She does it on Saturday when she got karaoke, which is good because I don't think I'm going to have very good signal for that anyway. Just all depends on what kind of signal the truck stop has. You know, if their Wi-Fi is strong enough, run it off my laptop, I can join in on the karaoke. 487 miles. Probably knock off another 180. Ugh. But you guys got to figure out what is it that he does this whole time. You know, all he used to do is stare at pavement and the lighted lines in the middle of the highway. Yeah. The whole thrill of the thing is to get from point A to point B without incident or accident. And something exciting can happen at the drop of a dime. You don't even know what's gonna. You know, like some of these cars that come over and pass me. And, you know, you look down. You're looking at a girl that's totally naked in the car. Yeah, it happens. Or they're wearing a bikini. That's happened in Minnesota many a time. There were times I'd be stuck in traffic, stop and go. Might be a couple of lovely girls in a car beside me, and one of them decides to take her halter top down and just exposed her chest. I'm like, well, okay. You'd be amazed what drivers see every day in and day out. But you see it so many times, it's like, huh, really? Like your mama and daddy know you do that? These ladies don't even know me from Adam, but and yet they'll pull their shirt down for like that. Especially during spring break when a bunch of them go riding down there in a convertible or a Jeep, take the walls and the roof off the Jeep, and they hang on to the roll bars, going down the highway, pumping their arm, wanting me to toot the horn, and all I see is a bunch of pairs of titties right there. And I'm like, what are they doing that for? I got 3 daughters. I know my oldest would never do anything like that. She is way too shy. Yeah, going down. You see, you can't tell that on camera. The 6% grade. I'd hit my retarder brake to help slow me down a little bit. I don't want to be doing 90 going down this hill. Uh, excuse me. Yeah, but when I saw snow like that when I was a kid, I was like, where's my sled? I'd be nuts enough to do that. Climb that mountain, get on that sled, and you just take it all the way down. That was one of my favorite pastimes. Oh, I'm 102 miles from Winnemucca. Definitely get past Winnemucca. Ding, 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 ding. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the deserts fair, man. I breathe mountain air, man. I travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. And that's all I know. I know it's a bunch of cities, but I don't know if I. Oh, in Eureka County. I wish I was having a Eureka moment. I'd be sharing it with you good folks. Hey, watch this, man. Everybody's like, well, make a video of it and put it on YouTube and I'll watch it. Well, I'm doing that right now. I bet you they won't even come back and watch the damn thing. But they'll comment like they actually did watch it. Or they'll comment and let the phone play while they're doing something else, not even paying attention to it. Like, man, you're missing the whole show. I mean, I've been barking for the past, what? How long has this one been going? An hour and a half. And then I did one for like maybe 45 minutes to an hour. The one before this one on 93. And there was no hope for that one, man. I was just totally lost signal out there. Yeah, they need some a state trooper or one of them patrolmen to patrol this part of the highway. Maybe get them from Louisiana. Near uh, 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 Sheriff J.W. Pepper. You picked the wrong parish to haul ass through, boy. Nobody cuts and runs on Sheriff J.W. Pepper. There briefly for sure. Oh, my brother Billy Bob, he got the fastest boat in the whole damn room. Should go Billy Bob. I want them men apprehended immediately. Do you hear?
Where JW? We got him.
Slow moving trucks. Well, no doubt, because we're going to be climbing a hill and it's bogging me down. I have to pop my four ways. As soon as I hit 45 miles an hour, I'll shift down, shift to ninth gear. Here we go. Boom. And I think I'm holding. That's a good thing. Yeah, there's some mountains that you have to gear down all the way to six just to get going. Well, I might end up having to go into eighth. Damn it. Yeah, maybe. It's coming. It's 49 degrees. It's getting warmer. Yeah, I'm going to have to shift to eighth. Now watch this. I'm going to shift down to eighth gear. Boom. See, at this point, this is where you burn a lot of extra diesel, having to climb up mountains. Awful lot of ravens out today. Because everything's coming out of hibernation and they're going to feed off of them. Holding steady in eighth gear. Well, come on, Yellow. They don't load you guys heavy because you're Teamster drivers. He's got a pair of trips. Now, I have my endorsement to haul those. I can haul combinations like that and the super doubles. Just there hasn't been a company come around and made me a good offer. I'd see home a lot more, but they can't pay me enough to pull them. I make more doing what I'm doing over the road than hauling combinations like that across, the state of Ohio and part of Indiana and part of Pennsylvania and New York. Gearing up, hey! And might have to gear back down. Hey, see, if I had an 18 speed, I wouldn't have be able to hold steady on one gear instead of have to switch, going back down to eights. See, a lot of them other guys up there, a lot of them got automatic trucks. They don't have to shift. It's done for them. Me, driving a vehicle like this, I want total control. Because if the retarder brake goes out on you, you better know how to gear it down quickly or you're screwed. But if you're in an automatic, you don't have control of what gear you're in. And that's if they got the proper training of that. It's called fanning the brakes. I call it, my father taught me, it's called trimming. You don't have, because back in his day, they didn't have a retarder brake. You had to gear down and fan the brakes and do a rhythm that's perfect so you don't burn the brakes up and they fade out and you ain't got brakes. But the good thing with all this snow up on the mountains is, you see that deer sign back there? Well, there's Mustangs out here too. Not many, but there are. And being it white and they're all different colors, you can see anything moving across the snow and spot it easy. First time I saw a herd of wild Mustangs, was west of Winnemucca. They were running up the side of this mountain. I thought it was the most coolest thing in the world I ever seen. There we go. Back to 10th gear. I can turn my four ways off. But always remember, whatever goes up must come down. Whatever goes up, you must go down. Isn't that right, ladies? Ah, shit, I got to gear back down to 9th. Turn my four ways back on. Well, I'll be damned. There's truck parking at that rest area, huh? The only reason why I'm holding signal right now on top of this mountain is because there's a big ass tower there to my right, up on top there. There, now you can probably see it. That ain't much of a rest area. Few parking spots with a couple of dumpsters. That really ain't gonna do nothing. There we go. I mean, if you can see what I can see, you see the highway weaving through those mountains in front of me. Excuse me. Gotta turn my tards on. There's 6% grade here. Now, if I was heavier than this, I would have geared down to probably 8th or 9th gear. Turn my four ways off. And slow her down a little bit. They move kind of slow climbing up the mountains, but you go downhill, it's very fast. Depending on where you are. Donner Pass, you ain't going to want to go fast. Like Donner Pass, or like that, or Squammy, or Fancy Gap, you're going to want to go down that mountain the same gear that took you up that mountain. Because you do not want to gear up all the way. Because it only takes a few seconds and you're flying down the mountain doing 90, and you do not want to do that. Somebody burning their brakes up already, and it's not me. Always remember this. At this speed, you're not going to smell yourself. You're not going to smell your brakes burning up. You're going to smell whoever's in front of you. Turn retards off. Build up some more speed to get up over this next hill. The only time you're going to smell your own brakes is if you come down to like 10 miles an hour. Then you may end up smelling your own brakes. But I barely touched mine, so I know it's not me. Damn, I'm going to get pulled over pretty soon. Get me another bottle of water. I'm almost out of drink here. Ugh. Now that's a big mountain. Oh, wait a minute. I just remembered I bought this from the Petro. I still got some right here in the bag. Cool. DA and Petro. We got the best coffee on the highway. These beans mean business. I'm wound and bound so tired as the spring arm on my tractor.
Get a load of that coffee. Just a few minutes after you take that, you take a shit.
If it affects you that way, it doesn't affect me that way. I take a piss and I belch a lot. But that's good. You keep moving the fluids. Drink plenty of water, and it keeps your kidneys healthy. I'm cruising along here about doing 75, but I got my retarder brake on. If I turned it off, I'd be hitting 80. But I ain't going that fast because I don't want to get a ticket. Because out here, the reservation of police nail your ass. Like, yeah. And you disrespected my reservation. You take our land, we give you monkey for your back. But I wish I had a GoPro. You could see the road, the interstate weaving through these mountains here where I'll be going. Makes it pretty interesting. But you get a good heads up. There's an accident ahead. At night, the only way you can see it is you'd be seeing red tail lights, and the white lights you see are from the other side, and that's headlights. And if you're on the side, you can catch a little bit of chicken lights too. I got those. I got one that's burned out on my driver's side. I got to get replaced. There's some of these drivers got their trucks lit up like a damn Christmas tree. I'd like to get ground effects, blue in color, in particular. Man, you don't get in front of a big truck like this going downhill and then hit your freaking brake, jackass. You're a bunch of freaking morons. Oh yeah, the lane's closing up there, but that's a good idea. Get in front of an 80,000-pound vehicle so they can ass end me and throw me in a ditch, or my vehicle comes to pieces. Well, get over there, sweetheart. You only got about 1,000 feet. Look, there's nobody working in the construction area. Y'all can maintain your speed. That'll wear the tires down real good. Come on, people. Y'all can do 80 at the drop of a hat. It takes me a while to build up speed. That's my training tool. It's a radar thing. You're closing in on the vehicle in front of you. It's irritating. kid. He's Asian. Has a YouTube channel. He's getting very popular, and there was an offer for his program. I don't know what, but it was a lot of money, and he said he's happy doing what he's doing. His channel is called Mother Trucka. Instead of an O, it's spelled with a U. Mother Trucka. And he gives out good information. He does videos every day. I don't recall if he does live streaming. But I want one of his T-shirts. It's black. It says Mother Trucka. And yes, he used to drive for United Van Lines, I believe. Got a beautiful wife, beautiful Asian wife. Good channel. You got to check him out. Mother Trucka. Got a wealth of knowledge. Now, there are some things that when they get into the political side of things, I don't agree upon. Because, yes, there are some that love that red. You won't be wearing that going out west because the Mexicans usually unload and load your truck out here. And you wearing that red hat, they ain't going to say nothing to you. They can make you wait. I've seen that happen. I came in, guy passed me on the interstate, driving a Fitzgerald. And he was going the same place I was going to. He beat me there by an hour and a half, waiting to get unloaded. I show up. They put me in a door right away before him. Put me in a door right away before him. I got unloaded, went over there and parked, and it was amazing. My next load was out of the same place. And while he's still sitting there waiting, pitching a bitch, I told him, I'm getting reloaded already. I'm about ready to get out of here. And here's why. He's wearing that MAGA hat, and I wore this throughout the entire pandemic. This is a Mexican flag mask. I finally found it where I had it. It was in my glove compartment. The only gringo during the pandemic to wear a Mexican mask during the pandemic. Well, I'm half gringo, half native, but I look like a gringo. Hey, I got a lot of respect. They looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, no, I'm just showing people who I am. There's some people, man, it takes a lot of balls to wear something like that. Oh yeah, it does. Well, that's the few that knew me at the time. Like one of my good friends and former student driver, Big Michael Brink, call him Big Show. He goes, yeah, you're doing it. You're just wearing that to be a pain in the ass. I said, that goes with the territory. That's my fun. But still, I still show people who I am. Because a lot of people are racist pigs against the Mexican people. Well, I'll tell you about these Mexicans out here. You want to send them all back, the ones that are illegal? You better find some self-picking fruit and vegetables, or you're going to be paying $20 for that sack of oranges you're getting. Because if they got to pay these people minimum wage to go out there and pick all this shit out of the fields in California, yeah, you're going to pay a lot more for it. Because the farmers ain't going to swallow that cost. And these people are hard workers out here. And I got all the respect in the world for them. And I'll tell you this, I've never in my life, and I grew up in a very diverse neighborhood, I have never been hurt or had anything bad said about me by a Mexican or somebody of Spanish descent. They have been nothing but decent people towards me. I've never had one steal from me. I've never had anything bad, and people don't do nothing to me. Ladies are very lovely too. I have to admit that. Yes, if you like Panays, you're gonna like Latina ladies too. They're a lot alike. Only difference is the Filipinas are half Spanish, half Asian, which I consider a very good mix. But the Latinas, they don't have the Asian side. Eh, and I've earned the respect by a lot of made a lot of friends with a lot of them there, especially in the Salina County area. During the Cinco de Mayo, it was a miracle. 2 years in a row, I show up in Salina, California, to get a load out of Taylor Farms, and they had a big festival going on there, and I managed to attend it. Good food, beautiful ladies, and these ladies are dressed up in traditional, you know, ball gowns, kind of, really nice dresses, all different colors and everything. They're beautiful. Because I tell you what, and I tell this to a lot of people, a lot of people are not going to, a lot of lazy asses are not going to want to go out in these fields and take their job from them and have to do that hard work for so little pay. Yeah, your typical American's not going to be willing to do that. But your immigrants are going to be willing to do anything to make a living for their family. And that's what I'm all about. I'm for the working class people. And every time I come out to California, it's always a joy. I get offloaded and I get loaded right away. Get a lot of respect from the people there. Because believe me, they notice. And they may speak Spanish to each other, but they also speak English too. And some stupid drivers open up their mouth and say something distasteful. They're gonna like, I'm gonna make this motherfucker wait. You go wait in your truck. We'll call you when you're ready. They'll be sitting there for a day or two. Ooh. I told that one driver, I said, you need to burn that red hat, and the only Spanish word you need to know is cerveza. You get a lot farther. You make a lot of friends with that. Say it, amigo. Cerveza? See? No, you just made a friend for life. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Just go find some Mexican and ask them. There's some of you that may be in here. You probably know Buddha. Buddha is Puerto Rican, but it's still Spanish descent. She even knows that. And the number one cerveza is Corona, because when you look at a Corona bottle or can, it says cerveza underneath Corona in small letters. Well, hopefully somebody's going to enjoy this live stream and come back and watch it. Probably, I hope. Maybe not. I don't know. Uh, Good. There's nobody in the chat right now. I can just keep rattling off here, and hopefully people watch the replay on this. Give me a little bit of watch hours. Hey, just as long as you give me one finger up, I'm happy. Well, here on 85 and boogie, 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 boogie. I definitely got to get a CB in here so I can start entertaining you folks. I don't know, but when I had a CB, I rarely ever used it, and I very rarely spoke to anybody on it. I know that there's this dude that lives in the Bakersfield area that's got a home station, pretty powerful. He can reach you pretty far out. And when I was on top of Tehachapi, that's when I was taught. It was a clear night throughout the entire Pacific. That was when I was on top of Tehachapi. The only way I was able to talk to these guys briefly was because of atmospheric bounce. And the only reason why they knew I was American because I didn't sound like an Aussie. I was talking to some drivers from Melbourne, all the way in Australia. I mean, this driver don't sound like no Aussie. Nope, I'm a Yank. He'd be from Georgia. He'd be like, oh, come back now, him. Let me have some black-eyed peas and collard green. Get some black-eyed peas and collard greens with that ham hock. Some of my southern friends say, you talking about some good eating. They usually serve up some chitlins, but screw that. I don't do chitlins. You don't know what chitlins are? Google it. That'll help you out. And you'd be like, ugh, yeah. But some people enjoy them. To each his own. Me, I just can't do it. Especially cleaning the bastards. Oh, that's fun. You clear the whole freaking house with that. It's like, oh. Well, it's coming alive. And look at this, man. It is 6 a.m. in the morning over there. I know there's some fanatics that are awake right now. And I know if they're subscribed to me, I know they got a notification. Come on now. I got to aggravate somebody that wants to come to my live stream. Come on now. Talk to me, my boy. Ugh. Come on, I need a seat cover. Just for a moment would be nice. Hey, I'll take it. And cowboys love fat calves. Come on. I definitely need a CB radio. I miss it. Yakking away on the radio. You start up good conversations. Anybody got their ears on. I'm sorry I don't get to read chat much, but I'm noticing somebody from Taiwan. Hey, welcome in. Nice to see you. Nice to have you here. Just hope you enjoy the view. But I landed in Taipei in Taiwan, and from the plane I was looking at it, I was talking to my friend. I said, doesn't it look like Colorado to you? And he looked, he's like, yeah, it does. Yeah, Taiwan looks like the state of Colorado. I found that very interesting. I didn't expect it. I didn't know Taiwan had such big mountains there. It was beautiful. I got while we were there, I got to go to a baseball game, which was kind of cool. Yeah, man, I like watching the baseball games, and they're good too. And the crowd is more into it. You come here to the States, everybody looks like they're on Thorazine. I mean, the only way to get some excitement is somebody just hit a home run. I'm like, oh, the crowd just came alive. I just wish I can get, like a cable station. Because I enjoyed watching the Tokyo Giants from, Japan and seeing the Tigers from Korea. I mean, yeah, we've got a lot of good ball players from, your Asian countries, played in the MLB. One of my favorites was Fukudome from Japan. First game as a Chicago Cub, comes up to the plate, 2 men on. He cracks a home run. He just became a god in Chicago. But we end up trading the guy, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing? Another good one we had, Hesop Choi, got him as a rookie. I think he came from Taiwan. I can't remember, but he was really good. They traded him away. I'm like, what the hell are these people doing? What the general manager doing? And then the Korean Tigers are very interesting. They got these girls that are like cheerleaders. Oh, they're freaking gorgeous. I'm like, we need to do that for the MLB. Yeah, send me, a bunch of your Asian ladies over here to cheerlead for my ball team. And, oh my God, they were gorgeous. I'd be out there with a damn garden hose to keep the dudes away from them. Get a little bit tipsy. Oh, look at that, darling! I squirt them right in the face with a garden hose. So knock it off. Those are mine. But the Tigers, I know they're in Korea, but I don't know where exactly. Probably Seoul, I'm guessing. But they got an interesting baseball league. Very nice. But I do know in a lot of Asian countries, uh, the most favored team is the Cubs. And I'm like, cool. Because, when I went over to Japan and whatnot, and I got run into people that were Cubs fans. Oh, you're a Cubs fan? I'm like, yeah, born and raised in Chicago. Like, oh, I have a dream one day of going to Wrigley Field. I'm like, oh, it'll be there. Just sadly, it costs so much now. I remember going to Wrigley Field as a little boy. I'd get in the bleachers back in the early '80s for $250. Now it's like 85 to 100. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Shit, man. The parents, man, they knew we were safe. We'd get on the L train, 50 cents. Take the L train all the way through downtown on the West Addison and Chetfield there. Get off the train station, walk on down 3 blocks, and you're right there at Wrigley Field. Pay $250 to get in the bleachers, and you'd spend like $5. You'd get a hot dog and a large drink. Less than $10, you can go to a Cub game and enjoy yourself. But hell, man, I wish my son could have witnessed that too. But they priced the kids out of the game. They said that years ago. My dad did. They started giving out these multi-million-dollar contracts, and they had to raise the price of tickets. It's like, what the hell? Man, it's almost $20 for a pack of cards now. I remember it was 50 cents when I was a kid. You get a pack of Topps baseball cards for 50 cents, and there was a stick of bubble gum in it. It was cheap as hell, though. Some people just threw the gum away. I mean, I chewed some of it myself, but you get like 20 cards for 50 cents, man. Now it's like $20 for a pack of cards. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I think I'm coming into Winnemucca. It's off there in the distance. Just hope everybody been enjoying the view while I've had signal here. Enjoying the mountains here. You may have to zoom in on the camera or zoom in on the screen if you're able to do that. To get, I just got to get a GoPro. Got to get a GoPro and got to get me a CB radio. Because I just wish I had a GoPro that you're looking at it the way I'm looking at it, instead of making it look like it's so damn far away and it's not. Like that pickup truck in front of me, he's about 50 yards in front of me, but he looks like a quarter of a mile in front of me. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, I'll be stopping off here real soon. I might take a 30-minute break or I might shut down. It depends. I know there's a TA along here somewhere I'm coming up on, and I'll test their signal out, see what kind of signal they got there for my laptop. I'm still over 400 miles from my 90. Right there, California, south of Sacramento, right off the California 99. I believe it's near Stockton, but I could be wrong. I'm just going by memory. I know along 99 there's Stockton, there's Delano, Fresno, and Sean Tuber was here. He'd correct me on some of this. Bakersfield, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. The butcher of Bakersfield. Only some hopeless people that wanted some food, for God's sake. He could never get rid of that Austrian accent. But if his parents were still alive, you know, and his dad was a colonel in the SS, they would have told him, "Your son one day is going to be a very famous bodybuilder and movie star, and end up moving to Hollywood to become that famous movie star and Mr. Olympia, best build the man ever could ever have, and also become governor of the state of California, which is full of Mexicans." And I know his father, being Austrian part German, would say, "That is weird." But you can't choose who your parents are. You can't choose what you are or anything of that idea. Um, when you're born, it's a genetic freaking accident. I mean, look at me. I'm one hell of a genetic accident. I'll be the first to tell you that. I mean, pride should be reserved for something you achieve on your own, not something that happens by accident at birth. I'm just proud of who I am. Self interest, just like everybody else. Be proud that I'm not a criminal. I don't break the laws. Or break the laws and get away with it. And that's a whole different story on that. Because there are a lot of people that are privileged enough to where they openly just break the law and get away with it. Like one of them that's being indicted right now. He'd probably get away with it too. Me, I wanted to see him in leg irons. Because if it was anybody else up there that got indicted in court, they'd be wearing a jumpsuit and leg irons. And some people maybe want to make it political. Oh, we get that. Hey, if they broke the law, get them up there. Nobody's above the law. I don't care who they are. They can start prosecuting these rich billionaires for until the cows come home. For all I care. Hey, as long as you got a strong case and you prove your case in front of a grand jury. Because a lot of these people, like him, money cannot buy you everything. Like money cannot buy you true love. And you could wear $100,000 suits and be a billionaire and still be a low life. Because I've met a few, and I would not shake their hand either. Because I won't shake hands with a pig. There's a lovely mountain in front of us. Real big, too. It looks like a bit of whipped cream on top of that chocolate ice cream. Maybe chocolate, or it could be Rocky Road. I'll go with the Rocky Road. But it all looks so similar along I-80, and it's like, man, am I getting anywhere? I've been at this for like 5 hours. I'm 233 miles from the California state line. And then I'll be start climbing up Donner Pass. Once you get close to the top, there's the way station and the agricultural station. Ugh. But hey, one time I admitted it. I had pharmaceuticals and got stopped along I-40 down there in Southern Cal coming in. And they're like, "What you got on there?" I said, "I got to admit to you, man, I got drugs." I handed him the paperwork. He looked at it and laughed. He said, "Get out of here." Hey, at least I admitted it. Pharmaceuticals. Yeah, drugs. Hmm. Legalized drug runner. Also, sometimes, every now and then, a legalized rum runner. I have alcohol too. I got the permits. Matter of fact, I got my Oklahoma permit that I got when I was at the yard. It just came out, the new one. I just haven't put it in my log book or permit book. Got all my permits and crap in there. Cab card, passport, twit card, all that other crap. I got so much ID. The best one is that twit card because I wore that around my neck when I flew overseas. And I noticed people at the airport had twit card also. And I think I'll be damned. That's why some of them thought I actually worked for the airport. They're like, "Hey, come over here and help us with this." And I'm like, sure. And they're like, "You don't have a name tag on." I said, "No, but it's right here on my twit card." And they're like, "Where'd you get this?" "I'm a truck driver. I'm flying to Japan and then to the Philippines." Well, Japan, Taiwan, then the Philippines. And they're like, "Oh, that's cool." I'm like, I wore this because there will be no dispute of who I am because this is a legalized and real twit card because you can't falsify these. I said, you put that in one of your machines, it'll tell you everything about me. Because believe me, you got to damn near give a sperm, stool, and urine sample to get one of those. Not only that, shit, man, they even give up your firstborn. It's like, damn, they know everything about you to get a twit card. And then, let alone, it costs you $130. But it's worth it. I thought that twit card was better than having a passport. There in the airports, they had no problem. They were going to take and inspect me, and they noticed I had a twit card. They just ran it and said, "You're good." I'm like, "Well, what? Do you think I was going to be any different?" And then some people said, "It was a good idea that you brought your twit card with you." And water in a lanyard around my neck. I just take the twit card out of the lanyard. Here you go. The twit card is Transportation Workers Identification Credential. It has a microchip in it. You can't counterfeit these cards. And if you do and successfully do it, you deserve an award for that. In order to counterfeit a twit card, no, that would not be easy to do. Oh, here I am all alone, traveling on that lonesome highway. Oh, goddamn! Come on, man! It is 6:24 in the morning, or in the afternoon if you're on the East Coast. I know some people are going to work or are at work, and some people that got off work and then are sitting at home. I know you got my notifications. Come on. I'm going to piss somebody off. Gotta get on that damn live stream. I'm in the outer reaches here of Winnemucca, coming into Winnemucca. What? I'm 51 miles from there? Jesus. I thought it was just up over the damn mountain there. I'm still 51 miles from Winnemucca. It's less than an hour, though. Oh, shit. Now, that guy standing over there on the left, he just went into the truck there. He was holding yeah, there's the sign. It says slow on one side and stop on the other. Hey, that's a good job, man. You get paid them damn near $35, $40 an hour just to hold that. And a radio in the other hand. So you better stop them up coming up over that hill. We got them coming to the other side. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just hope you enjoy this trip with me. I'm going to keep going here, even though there's nobody around. I'm used to talking to myself because that's maybe a lot of people think I'm crazy. I may be a little bit crazy. But I know somebody's going to end up rewatching this, and when I do end it, somebody's going to come up. Oh, Sean did a live stream. I'll go check out that video for a minute. I'll just watch a couple of minutes and let the phone go and comment, and then I'll use my laptop and do other things while that's running. Hey, which is cool. I'll take it. Just leave me one finger up, man. That's all I got to say. Leave me one finger up. And just keep the wheels spinning and the beavers grinning. Every 60 seconds, or a little bit less than 60 seconds, is 1 mile. And I'm getting $3.25 a mile on this load. That's some nice, good Chobani yogurt. It's the expensive stuff. This shit costs like $4 or $5 a pint. And I like it too, if I can find it. The best Chobani yogurt flavor is the mixed berry. But a lot of your girls that work out, the like Planet Fitness or whatever, a lot of them, because I got two nieces that work out at Planet Fitness, and they like eating Chobani yogurt. It's healthy for you, actually. It's really good for you. Just hope you're not lactose intolerant. But I could be wrong. I think it is for people who are lactose, but I can't remember. But all the berries and everything are at the bottom. You dip your spoon down, you scoop it up and swirl it around, and it mixes the berries that are at the bottom. But I believe where I picked this load up is the main office or the main warehouse for Chobani. Twin Falls, Idaho. I could be wrong, but I've only been to two Chobani places there, and because I remember getting the loads out of there at Twin Falls where I just picked up and taking it to Berlin, New York. That's in upstate New York. And that plant is about half the size as the one in Twin Falls. Oh, got some bubblegum machines on the other side. Oh, here's the Humboldt County line. No, he ain't got nobody. I thought he did. But the bubblegum machines are on over there. I got to stretch out there and let everybody know I appreciate whoever attended this live stream. Hopefully you enjoyed the view and where I've been going. Enjoying the mountains. It's a whole lovely day. Hey, it's 56 degrees, man. It's starting to get warm. Gets any warmer, I'm going to turn the heat off. If I stick my hand out. It ain't bad out there. It may be a bit too chilly for the people who live in the warm climates, but it's not bad. I'd still be wearing a hoodie. Yeah. Gets any warmer, I'm taking the hoodie off. But it gets over 60, I'll change my shirt into a short sleeve shirt. You get to California, I'll probably put my shorts on. It's probably like 70, 80 degrees in Cali. Y'all been enjoying this trip, part 2 of Nevada. You've been enjoying this trip ever since Wells, Nevada. You bring up your Google Maps or Google Earth, whatever you like. Get it on satellite view. It's much better because you get a lot more detail on that. You look up Wells, Nevada, 93. That's where I started this video from. And been going ever since. And I'm just passing Yardstick 223. Just a little bit east of Winnebago. Something tells me they're going to be widening the highway here. Half in and half out of the lane. Hitting the rumble strips. Wearing my tires down on that damn shit. Come on, I know Blessed Life is at work. She should be starting her live stream. She hasn't started it already. She could have came in and commented on my live stream. Come on, darling. Come on, sweetness. You can bring in Boggs too. Say hello to the man. That would be very nice. But I get what I can get. Just leave me one finger up. That's all I want. Give me some watch hours. Well, I'm glad nobody's watching that. You know, tell Blessed Life. Do you hear what Sean just said? Hey, I'm just being myself, having a good time, showing y'all the sights here in Nevada. Why not? And having that fake Southern accent. Why? I have no idea. I think I got that fake Southern accent because I watched Smokey and the Bandit the other night because I had nothing else to do. I'm like, oh, that's on Netflix? Okay, click. Ended up getting halfway through and passing out. I remember the first time I watched that movie. My dad saw it in the theater in the late 70s. I was like 6 years old when that movie came out. Came out the same year, I believe, Star Wars came out. And shortly after a few months, they took it out of the theater. They played it on TV, which was kind of cool. And Dad set us all down on one Saturday evening when he was home. We all sat and watched it, fell in love with the movie. Hey, Cletus Snow as the snowman. He drove the truck, which was Bandit 2, and Burt Reynolds, which was Bo. I cannot remember his last name, but his name was Bo. Drove the Trans Am and was Bandit 1. Going along at a high rate of speed, there was a lady in her broke down car. It said just married on it, and she had a wedding dress on. And he slammed on the brakes, slid to the side a little bit, was talking to her through the opposite window, and said, I'm sorry, I don't want to get married. She climbs in the car anyway. Let me guess. We are a bride in search of a wedding. And she goes, no, there is a wedding in search of a bride. She ran away, is what it is. She ran away from Junior, which is Sheriff Buford T. Justice's son. And so they went after her and the police car. Jackie Gleason playing as Sheriff Buford T. Justice. He's all in his uniform with the gun and everything. His son Junior's in the tuxedo. They're wearing cowboy hats. Texas County Sheriff of Texarkana, Texas, which is right there on the border of Arkansas. But the funny thing is, none of it was filmed in Texarkana or Arkansas or Alabama. It was all filmed in Georgia. Because when you watch the movie and you see him being chased on the interstate, and he's supposed to be being chased by the Alabama State Police, if you look carefully at the road signs on the side of the highway, you see a Georgia state highway sign. I think it was 141, and they're supposed to be in Alabama, but you're seeing signs that are in Georgia. But there are very few people that are that observant. You trucking Coors beer east of Texas? That's bootlegging, son. This is Georgia, son. That was back in the day when certain beer brands were only limited to certain areas. Uh, in order to go to an area that is not your territory, you had to have permits for that. And it could cost you a lot of money. You trucking Coors beer across state lines without the proper permits. This is Georgia, son. And part two, it was an all right movie, but I think it was kind of stupid with the elephant thing. Part three didn't even have Burt Reynolds in it. But there were four other movies, and a lot of people don't know that. They were exchanged. It was actually a mini series to see how it would do, but they were like an hour and a half to hour 45 minutes long. The episodes were, but they didn't really catch on. It was like New Bandit, New Generation. The kid that they had driving the Kenworth truck. This was in the '90s, mid '90s when they filmed them, and they filmed them in North Carolina, Henderson. The sheriff was played Bo Duke, and the Dukes had the original Duke of Hazzard show. And I don't know who their actors were, but the driver of the truck was no snowman, and a poor boy. But it was actually some rich senator's son that drove the truck. And the guy named Bandit, I don't know what his name was for the movie, it's like Bandit, was some young guy. I mean, they were all right. I watched them. I thought, it's all right. But I can see where they flopped. Um, they could never recapture the following that the explosion following it had when the original Smokey and the Bandit came out. When they did that, CB radios exploded. It's like almost everybody had a CB radio in their vehicle. There and chat constantly, and it remained respectable until right around the late '80s, where the radio ran those, and then people started using all language. Some people do not radio anymore because they got sick of it. It's like, from a respectable thing to chaos. The FCC that was that you were broadcasting like that, you had to identify yourself. That's why a lot of them made up names that wasn't their real name. It's what called a road name to feel identity on the radio. Because the FCC could arrest your ass, seize or fine you or both. Nobody was respected on the radio. Oh, I got back in here. Okay. Thought I was going to have to end this damn thing on it. Hey, coming up, there's a big mountain over there to the right. Yeah, he's got seen a lot of air traffic flying over the state too, coming out of California, heading back east. Well, down this Winnemucca Road. Ding, 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 ding. Yep, I'm just a generational driver. I'm just repeating what my daddy did long ago. Well, that's how the Southerners would. I'd say my dad. But if you're from the South, you say daddy. Daddy, my hat blew off. Good, I hope your head was in it. Nobody makes me look like a possum's pecker. A lot of people can't relate to some of the language in that movie. I mean, there was a bit of trucker lingo and language in it, yes. But what the sheriff was saying, a lot of people can't relate. Back in that generation, you could relate to what he was, some of the insults he was getting. Junior, you get your coconuts, get in the car. I'll roast your ass in molasses. Ow. Oh yeah, that was when that car hauler. He was empty. He was driving I believe it was a GMC truck, day cab, car hauler, and it was a Japanese driver. And he said "Banzai," and he went right by there and knocked the driver door off of sheriff's car. And Jessica goes, "I saw that, you scumbag, you son of a bitch. You did that on purpose." And it's a treat to see one of those antique trucks out here on the road, but they're very rare. Mostly you'll see them in truck shows and stuff like that. Yeah. Hey, sexy mama, I'm glad you joined me. See, I was keeping apprised of what time it is. It's almost 7 o'clock there in the Philippines in the morning. And I'm like, wait a minute. Then people should be waking up anytime soon going to work. Some of them are probably already at work. But I did this live stream hours ago just because only one other live stream was I in Nevada. I'm very rarely in this state, and I had to do a live stream so y'all could see what Nevada looks like. This is the northern side. I don't know if you remember Murad Sekali Mamla. Murad, he was a good friend of a lot of people in YT. He passed away. Now, 2 weeks before he passed away is when I went through Las Vegas. I was headed out to LA. I should have stopped and meet him, but I couldn't. I had to hurry up and get in LA to deliver that load. But who would have known? That sucked. He lived in a small suburb next to Las Vegas called Henderson, which is a nice place. Henderson is very nice. I usually deliver good humor ice cream out that way. Yeah, just be careful if you rewatch this whole live stream. I've been rattling off saying all kinds of off the wall weird things, just trying to break up conversation. And I hope you all can enjoy the sights here. I'm trying to get rid of that southern accent. For some reason, my voice just wants to keep talking like I'm from the South. Y'all come back now, Hill. Comes from watching this movie, Smoking and the Bandit, I was just talking about. I watched it a couple of days ago. I had it going on my laptop. Nobody was doing a live stream. I saw it on Netflix. I watched that. I made it about halfway through when I fell asleep. I know if some of you Panays go back and listen to some of the things that I said on here, you're going to be very confused. You're going to or end up having to Google it. What did he just say? Or you're going to report back to Blessed Life what I said about her. Nothing bad. It's just I was going with the flow and didn't want to go too far. I was just like, come on, Blessed Life. I know you're at work. You got here early in the morning. Come on, darling. Give me one finger up. Yeah, Sexy Mama, if you want to know exactly, if you Google Map me, I always use satellite view because you see more detail that way. I just passed exit 205. That's a mile marker. I'm headed westbound on Interstate 80 in Nevada. It's on the northern side of Nevada. I'm like 20 miles from Winnemucca. Two things. I may shut down in Winnemucca. But since I'm very rarely in Nevada, I had to do this. I was hoping somebody else was doing a live stream, but it was a bit too early for you guys. I would have joined in on somebody's panel and said, "You all want to see Nevada?" Because someone like Sammy Chavez or Darren, J. Mike, they see me just about in every state for the past 2 years. They see me drive every state, especially Sammy. This is one of this is one of 3 states she hasn't seen. It's Nevada. The other 2 states is North and South Dakota because we rarely go. But she's seen me in almost the entire lower 48, and she may have seen me in Ontario, Canada, when I went up there and had that load of Viagra I was delivering in Toronto. I met up with Darren. We had dinner together. Now I lose signal, but I'll try to get back in. And if I can't get back in, I'm probably going to have to end it. All right. But see, it's people like me. I can sit there and talk all day long about the most ridiculous crap and make no sense at all. Keep the conversation going all by myself, which I've done until you came in here, sexy mama, and I got you to talk to. At least I got some lovely ladies. You can be my seat cover for the next few minutes until some others show up. To explain to you what a seat cover is, that's CB radio lingo. Like if I had a nice, lovely Panay lady sitting in my passenger seat, and another truck driver with a radio passes me and looks in my cab, sees the girl, he'd hear up on the radio, "Nice seat cover, son." Is that her feet and legs up there on the dashboard? Come on back. It's a whole nother language talking on CB. It's English, but they use more colorful metaphors instead of being obvious. And a lot of the only drivers that would know this language is the only reason why I know it is because of my father. Or the older ones that have been around since the 80s. They would remember some of it, but it's basically dying. It's gone by the wayside. A lot of these drivers would not know what the hell they could be fluent in English and not know what the hell you're talking about. You'd have to translate it for them because it's either in code or like a colorful metaphor. How's the highway conditions up front? Well, it was a slippery slide around this, exit number to that exit number. It was a slippery slide down there. You just put on your skates, you'd be sliding home, son. You're gonna have to, when you get to the top of that mountain, you're gonna have to put your snowshoes on to continue on. You're gonna be sitting there waiting. That means you'd have to chain up. We call it iron. Me, I don't sling iron. No way. I won't do that anymore. It's too dangerous. I'll never forget the first time I chained up foolish. It was on Squamish in Washington State. See, you're standing there, and the first thing you want to do is you want to do the first tire on your first drive axle on the driver's side first. Then your passenger side, you're completely safe. I did it without my raincoat on, and there's slush on the roadway, and the vehicle's going by that hadn't stopped yet. they'll go right by you and they'll slop some of that slush up on your back as you're bent over. That slush lands on your back, and while you're bent over putting the chains on, it hits you in the back. It's colder than you wouldn't believe. You stand up, and it runs down the crack of your ass. It's like, woo! Oh, man, that takes the breath away when it hits your balls. And that's when I learned the hard way. You put a raincoat on, because if that happens, you won't feel it. See, when you put chains on your tires going down the mountain, that's so you do not slip in the ice and snow. And you got traction. The iron chains that you're putting on your tires keeps you on the roadway from sliding around. While I'm topping this summit, I'm surprised I still got signal. That's a lovely mountain up there, man. Good skiing up there. A big mountain from it. Gondola Summit. Yeah, they had a blizzard come through here about 3 days ago. Totally destroyed Wyoming, made Wyoming impassable. There's a big mountain in the distance there. Now I'm going downhill. I got to turn my retarder brake on. But sexy mama, I'm glad you came in here and joined me. I really appreciate that. I just figured somebody would appreciate, just showing y'all what I'm looking at on a daily basis, which this view right here is very rare. Because I very rarely come through Nevada. Yeah, 403 miles from my 90. That's the 90 is what we call the delivery point where we deliver our loads. The O1 is the shipper where you pick your load up. Now, if there's multiple pickups where you pick up here and then you got to go over here and pick up another part of the load, you go over here and pick up another part of the load. That could be O2, O3, O4. Or if you just have an O1 and you got multiple drops, you start O1, pick up, and then multiple drops. O1, O2, 3, O4. And your last stop will always be 90. It's almost like another language. It's not bad. It's 53 degrees. It was freezing earlier. But have you ever listened to that song by Johnny Cash, I've Been Everywhere, Man? That song starts in this town up here that I'm going to up ahead. It's called Winnemucca. That's where the song starts. Winnemucca Road. Crawled up in the cab and I settled down inside. That's a good tune. But I praise anybody that karaoke's it and does it accurately. Boy, that's tough. I've been everywhere, man. Across the desert's bare, man. I've been everywhere. Ding, 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 ding. Shoot, man. That song was before my time. Oh, you're at work? Well, talk to the boss. Hey, say, hey, boss man, how about we start a worker co-op and see how that flies? Yeah, you start a worker co-op. Yeah, it brings democracy to the workplace. Why not? Become community owned, and then you guys decide on what to do with the surplus. So the surplus going to the top boards of directors. Oh, I know I'm coming up to Winnemucca. I can't see it. Well, if you haven't been listening to what I've been saying, you just watch the video from the start. Now, the first one I tried was on US 93. And that it lasted for a bit, but I kept losing signal, and I was like, the heck with it. Once I got into Wells, Nevada, I started a second one, which is this one, and I've been going ever since. I just wish you guys could see it the way I'm seeing it, because my camera makes everything look so damn. It makes everything look like it's far away. I know if JB was here, she'd say, "Yeah, that looked like Cyprus." Oh, your boss is calling. I thought your boss was like in the other room or something. That's one thing I could never do. Once I became an owner operator and became an owner of my own company, I could never go back and work for another employer. I'm sorry, I could never do that. That would never happen. But you take what you can get, especially in this economy. The Pig Barbecue and Pub. That's a hell of a name of a restaurant. You sell pork? Oh, that's lechon. I got to try that in the Philippines one time, and the next time I'm there. Yeah, I don't want you to, lose your job over my account, because of what I say. But it just plants that idea in your head. Worker co-ops is going to be the thing of the future, and it's nothing new. It's people been doing that, especially in Mondragon, Spain, and you know mostly Wisconsin and Minnesota. A lot of worker co-ops up there. No such thing as poor people. Nobody's homeless. Nobody's starving to death. Everybody's well taken care of. Everybody works. They don't have a boss. They actually get time off, leisure time for their family, and works out really well. Wow, your dad's 86 years old. I think if my father was still living, let me see here. My dad would be 80. Wow. Oh my God. 57. That's three. That'd be 60. So, yeah, my dad would be 80 if he was still alive. He would be turning 80 in October. He'd be 79. Because my mom is 77 or 78. I got to redo the math on that one. Or she just had her birthday back in March. But I do know if my dad was still alive, we'd still argue. You're like, you gave up your job to drive a truck. I told you not to do that. You went to college, son. I did something you couldn't do, Dad. I actually own a Peterbilt instead of just having the name Big Peterbilt. Well, that's not my problem. Yeah. But in essence, if he was talking to his friends, he'd be damn proud of me, too. Hey, Dad, I'm going to start training students. You just started driving a truck. You can't train those students. Oh, goddamn. Oh, yeah, I get the whole 9 yards in an argument with my dad. But with some of the students I trained that was inspirational, he'd be very proud of me. But to my face, he'd be harsh. But I'm not complaining. I had a very good upbringing, a good father, good stepfather, too. As it shaped who I am today. It shaped who I am today. I don't know. I guess I'm a good person, a good father. Try to be better than my father. Good kids. I'm glad they don't cause any trouble. They know drugs are stupid, and they learned what alcohol is. They're just like me. They spit it out. That is some awful tasting stuff, Dad. Well, it got rid of their curiosity, is what it did. I know it's illegal as hell, but it got rid of their curiosity. I did the same thing when I was young. I, you know, took a little sip of Jack Daniels once, and I was like, ugh. I grabbed my mom's purse and grabbed her Rolaids out of the purse, which is an antacid tablets, because it was like instant heartburn, and it tasted awful. I'm like, Mom, I don't know how anybody like Wesley can drink this stuff professionally in your bar. You're like, hey, stop picking on him. He spends a lot of money in here. I'm like, but it's true, Ma. I don't understand this. People come into your club, they go, man, I'm here to have a good time. They just got done drinking about a dozen shots. I'm here to have a good time. They're standing right next to a trash can and then go, because I leaned over and said, you call throwing up in a good time? I don't think so. It don't seem like a good time to me. Yeah, I appreciate Sexy Mamala. But I got a phone call. I got to call him back. But I'm going to end this live stream, and I really appreciate it. You can go back and watch it because I've been at this now for 3 hours. Oh my God. I'm going to go ahead and end it here because what you're seeing is it. Because I'll probably be shutting down here in Winnemucca. But thanks for coming here, Sexy Mama. And I thank everybody who attended the live stream. And if you come back and watch the replay, just leave one finger up. Make me happy. Hey, y'all have a good day. Bye bye.